Hi guys, I'm Jim and this is Jim's Fix-It Shop, and today I want to, hopefully answer some questions on, I've had a couple of guys that have rebuilt their snapper drivetrains and they said things aren't turning like they think they should. To check to see what kind of issues that you may have, one of them thinks that a problem could be in his chain case. He said when he rebuilt his chain case, it doesn't seem to turn very easy. Well, this is your sprocket and shaft, and this one is your sprocket and hub, or hub and sprocket is the order they give it. But it should turn almost effortlessly. You should be able to grab the small shaft and just spin it with your fingers, and you can see the top one spinning. I mean, there's nothing in here to really give you any friction. Or the other way you could do it is you could turn this and the bottom spins. It turns easier this way because of the gear ratio that you have. You got the small sprocket and a large sprocket up here with the chain. But in either direction, that should spin with no effort. I don't know if you got a bearing out of alignment or a bad bearing or what could be causing that issue. But on the drivetrain itself, they said it was hard, one of them, it was hard to turn his tire with it standing up, and the tire on the other end goes the opposite direction. You should be able to put your finger in the tread of the tire and turn that. Should be no effort, because all that's spinning at this point is your large and small axle and your pinion gears inside your differential. Your large gear, your chain, your hex tube, and your chain case is not going to be turning. Now they said there's one of them, he says it turns good this way, but I can't turn both tires in the same direction. Well, that's because it's going to turn hard that way because you're trying to turn all this gear reduction backwards. It's made to turn this way and the gears go up. But you should be able to, let me drop this down. If everything is working right, you should be able to grab onto one of these nuts that holds on your clutch disc. Now this is in neutral, and use that like a handle, and you should be able to turn that with your fingers. And that will turn everything. If it doesn't, if it turns really hard or you have to put a wrench on there to turn it, something's binding up in here that could be giving you a problem. Now, for example, I've got one viewer that tore apart 2 or 3 machines to build one good one. He used this large gear out of one machine and the smaller gear out of another machine. And any mechanical machine, the parts are going to fit together when they're new, any of them, because they're mass produced. But as they wear together in a set. And that's what he thinks is causing his problem. He used 2 different sets and put them together, and now the wear pattern is different and it's binding on him a little bit. So at this point, we both kind of figured just run it and let them wear together again, and it should be okay. So the last I talked to him a couple of minutes ago on the phone, that's what he was going to do. He's just going to run it and see what happens, and he'll let me know and I can pass it on. Other than that, there's not a whole lot that can give you a big problem in this drivetrain. If you've got any questions on how the drivetrain works, let me know, and I believe I already have a video out there showing this entire train running, because I have an electric motor on it and I can actually run this thing, and because everything's cut away, you can watch everything work. It gives you a little better idea on what could be wrong with your machine, at what point it's not working. I've had another viewer. Let me check something first. I want to take my clutch disc off. Hang on. Okay, I just can't get the camera to look down on the drive disc and where the chain case comes to. But I have a viewer, Jim, is worried about the clearance he has with his chain case up against his drive disc. My machine, I have the distance of about a nickel between them two. And he's worried as this thing wears, is the chain case going to hit the drive disc? Well, it pivots up here. Because of this being round, as the drive disc wears, this whole thing is not going to move in and hit up here. I got thinking about that after we talked on the phone the other night. This thing is going to swing like this. And actually, as this wears down, this isn't going to get any closer to the drive disc than what it is right now, because it's pivoting up here. If you can see that, I just can't get the camera down in here to show you and work this clutch. It's not going to hit. You have nothing to worry about for a long time, Jim. Just put that thing together and run it. You'll be fine. But that's it. If you have any other questions on your binding issues, or if you've had a problem with your machine binding up after you got done rebuilding it, and you found out what the problem was and you fixed it, let me know so I can pass it on to these other guys that are having the same issues. So until next time, work safe, have fun, and you guys down south, I tell you to go out and cut some grass, but you're getting hammered with snow worse than we are up here in Michigan. I talked to, I think it was Charles in South Carolina. Thursday, he told me they got 12 inches of snow. We didn't get any up here. Not that I'm complaining. I've used my snowblower enough this year. If I don't use it again, I'll be more than happy. So until next time, work safe, have fun, and go out and shovel your driveways. We'll talk to you later.